So from the inside, McDonald, Quirk, Murphy, Axford, Whip, Axford, McIntyre, Donahue, Blood, Luke Percy, James Davidson, Michael Dow, Stuart McSween and Daniel Zinni. So 7.5 laps of Lakeside Stadium. Light drizzle starting to fall now as we move into the evening session of the 2011 ZATOPEK 10 program. And we see Ned Donahue in the old Melburnians colours that's gone to the front of the field. Sam Quirk just moving his way round the outside. In behind him, Sean Whip. And Andy Axford, the South Australian, just in behind him. So it'll be 7.5 laps that they'll move through. We'll watch them approach. The first 400 metres will pick up their split as Donahue content to do the pacemaking at the front of the field. The three Victorians, Quirk, top 5 at the Australian National Junior Championships. So through 400 metres, 68 seconds through the first 400 metres. And it's Donahue, Quirk, Whip, and Axford, the South Australian, just making his way into second place. And just slotting up to 5th place, that's Daniel Zinni of Xavier, Old Xaverians Club. So the field's still relatively bunched together. Of course, the A race of this event we'll see later on this evening. One of the most prized races in middle distance running in the junior ranks, the De Castella 3,000 metres, named after, of course, Rob De Castella. He still holds the under 20 10,000 metre Australian record. Of course, the marathon Australian record is to his keeping. There's Robert De Castella, as we still see. Ned Donahue looking very comfortable at the front end of the field. Finished his schoolboy running at Melbourne Grammar just a couple of years ago, moving into the senior ranks. And this will be one of his last events as a junior-aged athlete. So making a good result of this final event for him is obviously a high priority. I think the cut-off time was around the 8:40 mark into the A race, so still very earnest pace expected in this B race. Still Donahue, Axford, Sam Quirk, Sean Whip. It looks like Clary McIntyre just moving into 5th place at this stage. Daniel Zinni. He had some strong results over 8 and 1,500 metres at the Australian All Schools Championships in Brisbane just last weekend. So they'll come down to collect 1,000 metres. And it's still Donahue at the front of the field. The athlete in the blue and gold just making their way around the outside. That's James Davidson, the Western Australian. So 2:55.49 at the 1,000 metre mark. And it's all been Ned Donahue through these opening stages. We're just losing 2 athletes off the back of the field. Looks like Matthew Blood in the Ballarat YCW colours, the red. There's the pace just starting to be applied at the front end of the field. They're just stretching out ever so slightly down the back straight. And still Donahue, Axford, Quirk. Back to the Western Australian, James Davidson. So when they come down the home stretch, they'll collect 4 laps remaining in this men's 3,000 metre race. The first event on the evening session of the 2011 ZATOPEK 10. The main race coming up will be at 9:30 p.m. this evening. Of course, that will feature some of the world's best 10,000 metre runners, and we've seen Ned Donahue still take them through. 4 laps remaining. Andy Axford behind him, Sam Quirk, his brother in Matt Axford, moving up into 4th place. The colours of Team Tempo from South Australia. Sean Whip still 5th. And it's Michael Dowell, who have seen his exploits over the steeplechase at national junior level. That's the Box Hill athlete sitting 6th place to Clary McIntyre. James Davidson, the West Australian, who was making his presence felt around the 1,000 metre mark at the front end of the field, just dropping back slightly. Stuart McSween tacking on to the back of that group of athletes, and we're just starting to lose a couple more in Murphy, the South Australian, just tailing back slightly. Luke Percy still well placed there for the Knox Club in that middle of that lead bunch, and it's Donahue who's done the power of work. And just time will tell, with 3 laps fast approaching, 3 laps remaining, whether the efforts on the front will start to eat away at him. But it's the 2 Axford boys that have moved into 2nd and 3rd place. The South Australians have made the trip across to race some of the best 3,000 metre junior athletes in the country in this B race, and it's going to be the 2 of them, joined by Sam Quirk and Ned Donahue, just a group of 4 that's just starting to stretch a slight advantage. Probably the first real break in that main group we've seen of 8 down the back straight. It's still Donahue, the 2 Axford boys, Matt and Andy, Sam Quirk, and we just see Michael Dowd trying to maintain contacts. Sean Whipp in the white and red of Frankston just dropping off the back, along with Luke Percy, the under-17 age group athlete. We'll look forward to seeing in this race a couple more years in a row one of the talented cross-country middle distance runners coming through the Victorian ranks at this stage. Consistent medalist at the state junior and all schools level, as they come down to collect 2 laps remaining. And they've gone through the 2,000 metres, missed the split there, but consistent pacing as we see the 2 Axford boys. It's still Andy Axford into 2nd, his brother Matt just in behind, Sam Quirk and Dowell, the top 5. Back to Sean Whipp, Luke Percy, Davidson, McSween, Zinni just dropping back slightly into about 10th placing. Very impressive running from Donahue, and just wait to see if either of the Axford boys are going to look to make their move. 700 metres out from the line in this B race, 3,000 metres. Just waiting to see if Donahue has another gear to move off the front with. And Quirk, we've seen him run well over 5,000 metres. A very solid performer. Very solid performer over the cross-country distances as well. Michael Dow still there with him. So it's Donahue, back to Axford, Quirk, the 2 Axford boys, Matt just dropping off the back of him. Dowell into 4th place there, so at the bell it's going to be Donahue still, Andy Axford behind him, Quirk a couple of strides back, Dowell just trying to maintain contact in 4th place, Matt Axford's just dropped off the back, Luke Percy to 5th place. As Sam Quirk just moves past Andy Axford, Michael Dowell, so it's the 3 Victorians that are at the front end of the field, but Donahue continuing to power away as we see Quirk just start to raise a challenge down the back straight. And Michael Dowell, the 3rd place, Axford the 4th for South Australia, but the battle for the front end of the field, it's Donahue and Quirk, and just a clutch of elbows at 200 metres out, and it's Quirk trying to move to the outside of Donahue, who's done a power of work through the first 7 laps. He's 200 metres remaining. He's still hanging on to the lead he established in the first couple of strides of the event. It's Quirk just trying to find another gear to come up to Donahue. Back in the 3rd, it's Dowell. But it's Donahue that's going to lead him in the stretch as Quirk, all the way from Gippsland, the South Coast athlete, moves to his shoulder, goes past. Well-timed run from Sam Quirk. He's stretching away as Dowell moves up to Donahue, who's starting to tighten up. But Sam Quirk will come down to the line and take out the 3,000 metre B race on the 2011 ZATOPEK 10 program. Donahue will be 3rd, 8:41 at the line for Samuel Quirk. Michael Dowell took 2nd, back to Ned Donahue. But well-timed run there for Quirk to take the win in the B race over 3,000 metres.